So the second part of section 3.5 is about loan repayments. So in the first video we talk about how to make money. Now we talk about how you can lose money. So some of the main types of loans you'll see throughout your life will be cars. So if you buy a car, a home, when you go to college, you might take out a loan. And then also you'll probably hear about credit cards as well. So I'm going to really just focus on cars and homes in this example. College is just a little bit different because there's different sorts of federal aid when it comes to college loans, so it works out a little bit differently. And then credit cards are just awful loans to take out. As a kind of comparison, cars and homes will generally be percentage rates of, let's say for a car, you might get a pretty low APR of 2 to 3%. Right now, homes are similar, but historically they've kind of fluctuated from 3 to maybe 8-ish%. College loans are similar to kind of home loans. Mine is about 6% for my college loan. So we're all in the kind of the 2 to 8 range. Credit cards are usually greater than 20% APR. So you're paying huge amounts of debt on credit cards. And that's because you really don't have to go through a lot of work to get a credit card. It's pretty easy to get one. But the reason that it's easy is because then they can make a lot of money off of the interest rates. So it's best if you can help it to avoid credit card debt. But that's just, anyways, there's a lot going on here. We're just going to talk more about cars and home loans just to give you an idea of how loans work. And then you can take that information and use it to apply it to new situations like credit cards in college. So let's start off with an example with cars. Now, with cars, you usually have the option of putting a down payment, and with homes as well. So this is some sort of amount of money to lower your loan amount. So let's say, for example, you purchased a $20,000 car. You don't want to take out a loan for $20,000. You have some savings you can spend. So let's say you put a $3,000 down payment. And so now you're only purchasing a $17,000 car. So for example, $20,000 car minus your $3,000 down payment. And so then your loan amount would be $17,000. So you'll hear a lot about down payments. I'm not going to talk much more about down payments because they are pretty simple. You can also buy cars. You'll hear 0 down on commercials and stuff, and then you don't have to put anything down, but you get a larger loan to repay. There's oftentimes different options when you're purchasing a car. So the options really depend on several factors. So first of all, they depend on your down payment. If you put more down, you might have better options. And I don't know how they work all this stuff out. They talk to the bank and then et cetera, et cetera. How long you want the loan for. And then it also will depend on your credit score. Now, unfortunately, for most of you, you probably don't have a credit score right now, which they use that to mean you have a really bad credit score. So it's hard to get some of the better options. So there's a couple of recommendations for that, and I'll let you talk to your parents or guardians or financial advisors about that in order to improve your credit score. So for example, when I bought my car, they said things like you could have a 4-year loan with 0% APR, which is a pretty sweet deal. You can have a 5-year loan, and it was like a 0.7% APR. And then there was like a 6-year loan, and I think it was like a 1.9% maybe. And all of this, the option I pick all depends on how much I can afford to pay monthly. So if you have a 4-year loan at 0% APR, that's cool not to have an APR, but this is a much higher monthly payment. And then this is also a good deal. 0.7% APR is super low, but this is also going to be a higher monthly payment. And then this option, while I'm paying the most in interest, it is the lowest monthly payment. So oftentimes we choose the lowest monthly payment just because it's, we're strapped for cash each month, and so we want to figure that out. Even though we're taking out a loan for longer and paying more in interest, that's often the best choice depending on your financial situation. So let's just go ahead and now that I've given you some insight into car loans, let's just talk about the loan and let's see how this works. So let's say you go through all this stuff and you purchase a new car. That costs $23,452. You might have heard of MSRP. We can say this is MSRP, or maybe you bargained and you got a better deal. Who knows? So this is what your loan is for. Let's just say this is after the down payment and everything. So your loan is for 6 years with an APR of 4.2%. So with a lower credit score, you will usually have a higher APR. So 4.2% is pretty common on a car. So my question is, what is your monthly payment? And so this is a good time to give you the next large formula that we haven't seen yet. The loan repayment formula looks like this. Your monthly payment, PMT, is equal to the principal amount of the loan times APR. We'll just go with 12 again. We're always just going to do 12 here, assuming you pay back monthly. And then it's 1 minus 1 plus your APR over 12 to the power of negative 12 times T. So let's go ahead and fill in this formula now for our example. The principal amount of the loan is that $23,000. So we're going to go with $23,452 times our APR, which is 0.042 over 12. Divide all of that and the amount of the loan is for 6 years, so we'll do times 6. Let's go ahead and plug that into a calculator. Whoops. So it's 23452 times 0.042 divided by 12. Go ahead and divide all of this. Well, that'll work. 1 minus 1 plus 0.042. It's kind of tedious to type all this out, but it gives you an answer, which is nice. Negative 12 times 6, parentheses. And there is our monthly payment, $369.05. So now I want to ask the question, now that we've calculated $369.05, I'm kind of curious how much we actually pay in interest compared with the cost of the car. So the cost was $23,000. Let's see how much extra we pay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that monthly payment, multiply it by 12, that's how much I would pay in 1 year, and then times 6 for 6 years. And so let's go back to the calculator and figure that out. This times 12 for 6 years, so 26,571.73. 26,571.73. So you end up paying almost, well, a little over $2,000 in interest. So that's something to keep in mind as well when you're thinking about taking out a loan. How much do you actually pay versus how much you pay just for the car itself? So if you don't feel like paying over $2,000 in interest, maybe don't take the 6-year option. Okay, I think I'm going to end this video here. And in the next one, we'll do one more video where we talk about home loans.